Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. So this is not the normal videos I shoot, but I thought I would talk to myself and maybe this would help other people. Uh, so I've been super busy over the past couple of weeks. I've had just a ton going on, and all I really need to do, we'll come to why I just grimace in a second. All I wanted to do for the past handful of weeks is get my spring garden out and get the fall garden in. I have the seeds started. So this is like prime time. I need to get the fall garden in. I have tomatoes coming in like gangbusters. I have so much food coming in that needs to be preserved. My first corn plot, I did two. I staggered my corn so it doesn't all come in at once. My first corn plot, they're all ready to go. My peppers, my cabbages, it's August, so of course everything is ready to go. And on top of all of that, it is August and the weeds have taken over. So you're supposed to, when you plant in the spring, you're supposed to plant for the summer gardener. So when you're planting in the 50s and 60s, beautiful weather, you want to keep in mind the gardener that's going to be out there, the 90 and 100 degree weather with 100% humidity, trying to keep the garden in order. And I try to plant for the summer gardener and I never do. And my garden is just, at this point, I always just say, let the garden do what it's going to do. I kind of pulled back. I'm not trying to keep up with the weeds anymore. I will go and do I will go through and like weed the beds that are going to get the fall plants in. But the majority of the stuff, I'm like, let it go. I will work on it in the fall, winter, and in the spring. But my garden beds, even up here with flowers, are just getting taken over by weeds. And it's honestly embarrassing. Every time I walk by one of these beds, I grimace. I don't want people to come to my house because it feels overwhelming. So I've been out of town the last couple of days. Tonight is the only night that I'm home, and then I'm getting ready to go away from my house for next 5 to 6 days, 4 or 5 days, something like that. And so tonight was the night. I had every intention of, so I flew on a plane yesterday, and I'm sitting on the plane. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get home tomorrow, and I'm going to fall garden, and I'm gonna harvest some, not harvest. I'm gonna make some ketchup, and I'm gonna make some salsa. I'm gonna start processing these tomatoes. I'm gonna start doing all the things. I got more cabbage. We're gonna do all the things. So, I got off a plane where I was like throwing luggage up above my head in the overhead compartment, like a normal person, like a big heavy bag. And I get home, and as soon as I get home, I'm home for 30 seconds, and I bend down to pick up the cat and threw out my back. So, I'm actually in a fair amount of pain. I'm actually really uncomfortable right now. I can't get comfortable. So that was last night, throughout the back. I got home at like 8:30. So the time I kind of was able to stand up and get upstairs and finish taking care of all the animals, I just went straight to bed. This morning I went up, I went to work, super uncomfortable all day at work, in a lot of pain. And my girlfriends at work kept telling me, now when you go home, just sit, rest. And that's the point of the beginning of this vlog. I am not somebody who just rests. I am somebody who, I don't sit down. I need to get things done. So even though I'm supposed to be resting, I did just go out. I harvested some tomatoes, which really played me out. Not the smartest thing I've ever done, but they needed harvested. But that's really all I did. I sat the rest of the evening. I didn't do anything today. And I do feel like a bum. So I'm having this argument with myself in my head, so I thought I'd put it down in video format, whether it's for me for the future or for somebody else who is like me. It is okay to rest. So for me, when I sit down and I relax, if I have stuff to do, I just feel like I'm being lazy, I'm wasting time. I don't like it. I rest all winter. I don't like the cold. In the wintertime, put me on the couch with a blanket, a book, and a movie, and I'm golden. Then I had no problem kind of sitting and relaxing. But in the summertime, there's always too much to do. I never have, in my mind, I never have the time. And I never allow myself the time. So here I am with a bad back, and I still am not allowing myself the time. And as I'm harvesting tomatoes and I'm groaning and grimacing and cursing, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Why are the tomatoes more important than my comfort or how I feel? Or I don't even know that the health of my back isn't the right way to say that, but how my back feels. And I'm getting ready to go look away tomorrow. So like, my back needs to be better. It can't be like this tomorrow, but I'm not helping it. So I just kind of want to come on here and be like, it is okay to sit. It is okay if you don't feel well, or you're tired, or you just don't feel like doing anything. There is no shame, or there is no guilt in sitting and relaxing and picking up a book, or watching a TV show, or doing anything. There is no guilt. Do those things. The garden will be there. So as I'm walking on the garden, harvesting these tomatoes, and I harvested some beans, and I'm looking at all the weeds, and I'm sitting there like, just get down there, and once you're down there, you're down there. Just pull a couple weeds while you're down there. And I didn't do that. I did refrain. But those things are always going to be there. All of the chores that we have to do are never going to go anywhere. I have a list of my chores. I cross one off and I add 3 more at the bottom. So it's not like my list is ever getting smaller. The list is never going away. It's just an endless list. So if you are like me, we need to be okay allowing ourselves the grace to heal our bodies, to heal our minds, to give ourselves some peace and serenity. We need to give ourselves more grace. And the most annoying part about me is my mom messed up her knee a couple weeks ago, and she refused to sit. This is where I get this from. She refused to sit, and I yelled at her like nobody's business because she was just making her knee worse. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. But I did officially stop. I was only out there for like 15 minutes, so 15 minutes isn't bad. 15 minutes of my whole evening isn't bad. This is what I'm going with. But we need to allow ourselves some grace. We don't need to push ourselves. Everything can wait. Nothing is ever honestly that important. If we don't harvest the tomatoes and we don't get to make the ketchup, then we just buy ketchup this year and we try again next year. We are not in a point in time where if I don't make the ketchup now, I don't get ketchup for a year. That's not how this works. So, Caitlin, have grace with yourself. And if you're watching this and this speaks to you, have grace with yourself too.